afternoon. Welcome to Lunch Bites. I'm Pastor Rich, lead pastor here at Lake Missionary Church. We're so glad you joined us today. I want to read today out of Mark chapter 6, starting in verse 6, the second half of verse 6, and we're going to go through verse 13. It says, "Then Jesus went around teaching from village to village, calling the 12 to him. He sent them out 2 by 2 and gave them authority over evil spirits. These were his instructions. Take nothing for the journey except a staff. No bread, no bag, no money in your belts. Wear sandals, but not an extra tunic. Whenever you enter a house, stay there until you leave that town. And if any place will not welcome you or listen to you, shake the dust off your feet when you leave, as a testimony against them." They went out and preached that people should repent. They drove out many demons and anointed many sick people with oil and healed them. It's a picture. There's a lot in here, but there's one thing that I wanted to focus on. Was at this point, Jesus has already spent a lot of time with the disciples. So when he called his disciples, he said, "Follow me." When they chose to follow him, he took on the task of teaching them what it meant to be a follower of Christ. And bear with, he didn't just send them out right off the bat and said, "Hey, go be disciples, go make disciples, go teach people what it means to be Christians," because they didn't know. They had no clue what it meant. They just knew that they were called to follow Jesus, and they believed that he was who he said he was, or at least they were willing to take that chance. And so what happens is when they get going and they get to this point, he gives them very detailed instructions. And what's interesting is these instructions, they sound kind of weird. He says, don't take anything with you. All he's talking about is wearing sandals. And don't take extra clothes, don't take money, don't take anything except a staff. And so they could walk and whatnot. And it's really interesting how Jesus lays this out. And he says, don't take anything. Be dependent on the people who you go to. What Jesus is teaching them is to have faith that the people who they go to visit will take care of their needs. We like to call those in the disciple-making world persons of peace. They're people who are open and willing to allow Jesus to work in and through them, to accomplish the goal that Jesus set out, to make disciples of the entire world. So, I would ask you, do you know a person of peace? Are you a person of peace? Do you need to learn what it means or how to be a disciple? What are those things? If you have questions about that, leave a comment down below and let's start a conversation, because we want everybody to be what Jesus called us to be, and that's disciple makers. Have a great afternoon, and we will talk to you again soon.